Our day one journey has begun. We have left Miami and we are headed to the Honduras from here. Beautiful, beautiful water out here. Gorgeous.
To a million.
So you can get a place out here that's fairly decent for 300,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a place like what land 560 square foot now. Yeah, that place is sad, man.
All right, so we're the Gumbalimba Nature Preserve here in the Honduras, and they've got sloths, they have iguanas, really large iguanas. Some of these guys are up in the trees, they're massive. But what I'm most excited about is to be able to go see the monkeys. We're gonna be able to play with some monkeys today, so I'll see if I can get some footage of that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That is a giant iguana hanging out in the tree.
have on the island can grow up to 6 feet long, and the female can have the 60 eggs a year. So the ones you see the color of orange, they're the male. The ones you see the color of green, they're the female. And the iguanas are considered a delicacy on the island. Anyone you guys know what iguana tastes like?
Chicken.
Tastes like iguana.
So just relax and leave everything. No worries.
It's better, Jeff.
He said oh, I see them. Look at them. That's the big turtles. Are you meaning to do that?
No, you guys are the ones doing that, not me.
No.
Walk in the middle, walk in the middle.
Wow.
This guy you see here is a roadrunner from the cartoon.
Oh, is it?
And we have some toucans in there. So these birds that you see in the cages here, they're being trained. Once they're already trained, they're free.
Who does this?
Oh no, he really did take my button. Oh, he took yours too. Yours is gone. Already? Yes. What is it with the green one? And it just fell.
Right here, sir.
Oh, he's biting your arm. That one is.
Got it?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Do you want a picture together, guys? A group picture?
You want to do a group picture?
No, I already ate my button.
So I'm just walking along and these two guys decided they were gonna say hi. Hey buddy, what's going on? Just jump right up. Oh, they got Shelly too. Hey buddy, how's it going? You hungry?
Come here.
Sonny,
See, I want one.
come on, Sonny.
No, you can't have my hat though.
What's his name?
Sonny,
Sonny.
okay, let me stand here over here, please.
Stand here.
You ready to come over on the next one?
He's gonna get your card.
You ain't getting nothing. I got you, homie. No.
Pancho, venga.
No, you can't have that. It's mine.
Vaya, vaya.
Hey there.
Go by her.
Hey there.
Go by her, my friend. Oh, hey, my friend. Come on.
Look at me.
Gotta get his attention.
I think he's going for the cleavage.
Very sorry, you want to hold the monkey, sir?
Oh, I'm good right now.
He's eating my hat. No.
So hey there, buddy. What's going on? Hey there. Hey. Oh, he caught it. Look at that.
What happens, the monkey will take it and they will drink it and they will get very hyper.
Oh, really?
Start making a lot of noise and they will not come down.
Somebody brought a Gatorade in. It wasn't supposed to. And homeboy jacked it.
Oh, look, that other monkey's gonna go kick the other monkey's butt.
And he's like, nope. I want some of that Gatorade.
Yeah, here comes another one. They found them. They smelled one. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted.
So he started to start he decided to become a pirate. You are just coming around the captain of the ship, was working this man very hard and hard every day in the equipment room, so that he more and more every day. So the captain just decided to fight him. All he must know more about my friend. He defeated him and he the captain. When he defeated the captain,
It is getting cold.
Hey guys, so can I have your guys' attention? So this first mirror you guys see here was known as the pitch. They were descended from the Mayans. So what the men used to dedicate himself back then to do all the fishing and the women all the agriculture. So what they used to do is to travel to the neighbors in the canoes and exchange fruit for what they didn't have back at home. They used to build the houses out of thatched leaves and bamboo, which is still used here on certain part of the island. So all the islands you guys see in the glass cases are all original, was used by the pitch and the Mayans. It was found here and some of the coastal Honduras. This mirror here represents Christopher Columbus on his fourth and last voyage in 1502. So when Christopher Columbus first came and discovered Ireland on his way to Spain, he made a stop here at Punta Castilla. There was a storm, so he stayed on the island for 3 months. So when he came out, he said, thank God we came out of those deep depths. The meaning of Honduras means deep water. On his way to Spain, he wrote a letter to the Queen telling her about all the riches and the beauty she found on the island. So he sent her most trusted soldiers, which is the ones you see here, the conquistadores, into forcing them into speaking the language Spanish. Now the one you see behind you represent the Garifuna, a very strong ethnic group on the island located at Punta Gorda. So this used to be the mediator back then known as Saturday, who freed them from slavery. So back then when the man used to dedicate himself to smoke his pipe, lay back, make babies while his full wife would do all the chores.
Hell
Back then,
yeah.
that doesn't exist anymore.
Why not?
Now this one here represents Cox and Hole. This is how Cox and Hole used to look like back then, but now it's all built up. And behind you, you're looking at a small replica of the island. The island is 36 miles long, 3.7 miles wide. We have two main ports on the island. We have Cox and Hole and Mahogany Bay. And we also have an international airport in between the two right here, still in Cox and Hole. Right now we're located over here at the end of West Bay at Limba. So the white line you guys see on top of our island, that's our main road, so it's very hard to get lost here. We have 6 sister islands. They're all inhabited except for one, Barbarita. Barbarita is a private-owned island. The guy that owns Barbarita owns an electricity company on the whole island known by the name of Kelsey Warren, and he's from Texas.
Okay.
He's from where?
Texas.
Figures.
Yeah.
They got it all, though.
All these insects you guys see in here is a worldwide collection. Only 25% is found on the island. So you guys can look around, take pictures. Once you finish, you're going to exit the studio.
I'll stay there.
Good God. I think carry away.
Scarabs.
The butterflies are great.
Yeah, there's no way. I've seen worse.
driver. Basically, this is the end of the tour here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Also, this is what we do for living, so make sure when you guys come back, bring some more friends.
You want to eat at a good place when you go to a new country. Don't go to the touristy spots, right? You want to pop up in like the place that's in the barrio, right? That's where they're going to have the best food. So ask your driver most authentic place, and then don't get nervous when he takes you to a place that's a little seedy, because that's where the good stuff's at. So I'm channeling my inner Anthony Bourdain here. We're trying some interesting food. It's iguana, which is apparently a delicacy here on this island. My friend who ordered the fried fish didn't realize they were quite literal here in the Honduras, and they got him a fried fish. So let's see how it tastes. One of the things I love about island culture is the motorcycle culture. Everybody's got scooters, ATVs, sport bikes, all kinds of great stuff. That's the way to get around on these islands. And so I'm about to go do some shopping, but before I do, I just wanted to take this one last look in. It's a very small part of Roatan Island here just off of Honduras, and give you guys a quick snapshot of the cruise ship. This is not the largest one. We have been on the largest one before, but this is still a huge, huge cruise ship. So, say goodbye, Honduras.
Going very fast.
Yes, sir.
It's like Build-A-Bear, but it's Build-A-Flip-Flop. Choose your own straps and bling or flare that you like to add to the flip-flops from any wide variety of colors. Very interesting. Because when you're in Belize, there's nothing you can think of buying more than a handmade 49ers, Bears, Dolphins, Notre Dame, or Broncos knapsack.
Ralph, they have the Raiders. You don't want one?
That's like I think.
No, I'm not. You're not buying one?
They gotta smell good.
here at lunch with something a little more sterile, but we do have some Belkin Belize beer, some local bottled Belize water, and a burger called the King of Somewhere Hot, which is supposed to be an extremely spicy burger, which probably isn't ideal in this temperature, but we're gonna give it a try anyways. So this is no doubt as spicy as they claimed it was going to be. This is not the kind of thing that is painful to eat, but it certainly is spicy, making your ears sweat kind of every single bite. You gotta put it down and have a beer or some french fries to chase it with, which to me, that's the perfect spicy burger. All right, so here are my thoughts on Harvest Caye. Basically, the island belongs to Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's completely manufactured, and it's an extremely sterile environment, which is not what you typically experience when you go to an island. Usually things are dirty and gritty, and the roads are bumpy, and lines are long, and people don't speak great English. And here, everything is just super sterilized. It's clean, it's beautiful, everyone speaks great English, everybody's polite all the time. Like, it's really just too clean to be an enjoyable island. Not to mention the fact that there's really not that much to do on the island. There is a zip line, there's parasailing, a couple things like that, but for the most part, there's the beach and there's shops, and that's it. And even the beach and the shops are just too clean to be, an enjoyable island experience. So as far as Norwegian's Belize trip, I'm good. Okay, as you can see, we've arrived in Costa Maya, Mexico. The waters are pretty crazy this morning, but take a look over there. That's where we're headed. And after we get to land, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get to the Mayan temple Chokchaban. Chokchaban is what it's called. So let's see if we can find our way there. It's about 45 to 50 minutes from here, and see if we can get a ride.
Maybe the party bus?
Yeah, party bus. Yeah.
Ah, it's on the way at the end. Thank you.
I don't know if you guys can see or not, but basically what's happening is they've wound this rope up at the top, and as they spin around, it keeps unwinding a little bit and bringing them down further to the ground. Very cool, very high up. so we just boarded the bus that's going to be taking us out to the Choccho-Ben Mayan ruins, which is about 45 minutes from here. They had two plans. One was with lunch and drinks on the beach. The other is just a 4-hour trip, which is 45 minutes there and back, plus about 2 hours there at the actual Mayan ruins. So we're gonna go out there, take some video, and see some cool stuff.
Okay, that was a trick. It didn't, because on that same territory, still in 2018, you will be able to find 6 million Mayan people, but they don't live in their cities anymore. Oops. History happened, we had the conquest, most of the cities were abandoned for many, many centuries, so those cities got covered up with the jungle. And here, the state we are in right now, Quintana Roo, is one of the youngest of the Mexican Federal Republic. So it's less than 50 years old. In this underground cave, the water is strong enough to dilute all the minerals naturally present in the limestone. It's going to escape some tunnels linking those sinkholes or caves together and forming big, huge underground river systems. So here, the water is not on the surface, it's underground. Okay, so that's the second difficulty. Well, let's say, do you know why the Mayan people would build pyramids? I mean, why so much work? What's the point? To be near the gods, okay? That's a spiritual objective. I think they will always have two objectives, the spiritual one and a practical one or material one. What's the material side? Or the patterned limestone would avoid the vegetation to grow back so fast so the people could find a way. And one theory about that is during the nighttime when the moonlight was rising, moonlight reflects itself on the white path, and the Mayan were able to find their way in the middle of the jungle in the middle of the night without any troubles. If we're gonna carry stones from Guatemala to here on our backs, walking, maybe it's easier to do it in the nighttime than during the daytime. We sweat less, so we need to drink less water. Arrives to our city. Once the black stone arrives to our city, we have to pay for it. The thing is, we don't have a lot of raw materials in this area, so back in time they had a kind of money that was the cocoa beans. No people were performing tradings, but when they wanted to trade.
Okay, so we have arrived here at the Choccho-Ben Mayan ruins. It took us about an hour to get here from Costa Maya on the bus. The ride was pretty comfortable, air conditioned, and I have a bathroom on the bus, which is nice. One thing I did learn when you get here, if you're using your camera phone, you're fine. But if you're using a GoPro or a camcorder like this one, they have a $4 tax that you have to pay. So if you're gonna bring a camera like this, make sure you have a couple extra bucks with you just in case. So next up, let's go see some Mayan ruins.
Yes, but the stucco on the inside of those. And they do find some writing.
All right, so we made it to Choccho-Ben. This is the first Mayan temple that we are visiting. See, it's roped off on the steps, so we can't actually go up on these. But to give you guys a little background, the concept behind these things was we built it up to where you could reach high into the sky, closer to the gods of the sky, of the overworld, so to speak. But they also were able to dig down below where they had access to river water, and that's where they would also bury people. So you've got kind of access to the underworld gods and the above world gods at the same temple site. So kind of cool stuff. They also use these to map out calendar dates, so they could figure out when the equinox was, when the solstice was, and that told them how much time they had in order to be able to prepare for crops. So for instance, when March 21st hit and the sun came perfectly through one of their little tools that they had created, they knew they basically had 5 weeks for them to go ahead and prepare their crops, start burning down trees, and prepare to be ready for that water that was going to come, essentially the rain, come May. So anyways, very cool stuff. We got some more to see today.
So like this northern tree is making here in shadow, and that's all the light broken back. Okay? So it's like another way.
This is the back of the Mayan temple that we filmed just a minute ago. And this one you can actually go up a little bit, check out a couple of the areas, which we're going to do. Get a much better view of the stonework and of course the preservation that's been done to keep this thing intact. What we learned about Costa Maya is that this area has really only kind of been recently excavated. I mean, most of the stuff is less than 50 years old as far as when it was discovered. And so a lot of this stuff is relatively new, and there are new things we're learning about it as they continue to study it.
And then on the second room in another level, and in that second room. Bye, Vicky. Careful. I feel it here. Oh, this is pretty. Got your cardio in for today.
Yeah. Guys, may not seem like much, but that was a walk. Look at that. Crazy. You may not have one. were pretty hungry, but we didn't have enough time to go to downtown where I suspect the best food is. So instead we went to a somewhat Americanized joint, kind of themed after the whole Mexican wrestling deal, so that's kind of cool. Everything is named after or kind of portrayed as some sort of Mexican wrestling dish, each one of them is. So we're in this big cabana. If you guys can see this thing. Massive. Anyways, let's see how the food tastes. Check this out. Look how much guacamole it is. All fresh made. I want to see these tortilla chips. Look at this. Look. See how thick these things are? That's what tortilla chips look like. Okay, here we have it. That is our parka. Supposed to be the hardest drink with this guy. First we've got our nachos and our guacamole from earlier. This, beef tacos. Check this out, man. Oh, it's so good. Kelly got some of the chicken nachos. You guys can see that. And who can resist ordering jalapeno poppers? So, let's see how it tastes. Look at the size of this thing. It's massive. So good. Blue cheese mixed in with the jalapeno. All right, we are leaving Costa Maya, Mexico. My thoughts are this is definitely worth stopping here, but if you're going to do it, try to get the earlier trip to the Mayan ruins so that you can see those. They're fantastic. Definitely once in a lifetime opportunity to see something like that. And then make sure that you're on that early trip out so that you can get back early enough to go downtown to eat some real food as opposed to kind of the resort food, which is still really good. Very full. I liked the food, but it was also very westernized. So definitely take the earlier trip if you can. Plus, it's not going to be a million degrees outside like it was for us. So Costa Maya, Chacchoban, Mayan ruins, loved them.
Scale that wall.
This is like 50% alcohol, 25% ice. The rest is margarita mix. It's terrible?
Yeah.
Terrible?
It's terrible.
Yeah. Thank you. Alright, so we are in Cozumel, Mexico, and this by far is one of the cooler places we've stopped. It's an actual city. Like, sure, it's touristy, but like go down any alleyway and you'll find a 24-hour hospital, you'll find a dentist's office, all kinds of things like that. So we got us a proper drink, that margarita that I posted earlier. And now we're on the hunt for tamales. Now, interestingly enough, tamales are not a very popular dish amongst most Westerners, so it's hard to find them in the traditional restaurants. So we actually had to kind of travel into the town a little bit, off the beaten path, to find someone who had tamales. So we're gonna see if they're any good. And those are tamales. That's a big tamale. But I like about this place, this guy actually lives here in the restaurant upstairs in the second story. So he lives here and cooks food in the restaurant. So it was worth the trip into kind of Cozumel proper to find some food. We wanted tamales. Obviously, you're not going to find tamales in the really touristy areas because it's not a very popular Western item. So we get to this restaurant called Oasis Maya is what it was. And there's a Mayan owner, chef there, and told us about the tamales, tried to describe the size to us, and I totally underestimated them. Being an American, I thought they would be the little round tamales. So we ordered 10, 6 for me, 4 for Shelly. We could only finish 5. These things were giant, wrapped in banana leaves. I mean, it was huge. So we're kind of still recovering from that. I've got 5 tamales I'm going to try to smuggle into the ship. Now we're kind of just dealing with the meat sweats and walking around trying to find some goods here in the main shopping area. So see if we can find ourselves an avocado bowl or something similar to that we can take home. Anyways, seriously, you go to a place like this that has actual locals, a place that has people that live in the city, not just tourists. Go deeper into town to find food. Go deeper into town to find places to shop. You're going to find some pretty incredible stuff if you do that. So we've run into several anti-Trumpers down here in Cozumel, which is funny because this is basically as far away from the border as you can get. We just saw this and totally cracking me up. Hey, what's up guys? We just left Cozumel, Mexico an hour or two ago. Final destination for us is Miami. So we're on the boat for the next 36 hours, basically. I was sitting on the balcony out here, which is beautiful every day, but enjoying this beautiful evening and having a margarita, of course. After having left Mexico, I have a newfound appreciation for tequilas. Anyways, sitting out here on the deck and I see a small red dot in the horizon. And that small red dot within about 3 minutes became a giant red moon. I thought you guys might want to see that. So it doesn't look like much from here. I'm going to zoom in and show you guys this. That's about what it looks like from my balcony, size-wise. Let's zoom in some more. Look at that. Beautiful full red moon. And it's hard to tell, but it's rising. Like every 60 seconds it's moving up in the sky another inch. Like it's really moving quickly. Check that out. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, our journey is over. We are back in the city of Miami. Beautiful downtown Miami there. Getting ready to get off the ship. Find something to do for 6 hours.